Hard not to notice the stench of ash rolling off you. Looks like every step drags a grave with it. I've fought things born of fire before, demons, machines, even Darkseid himself. But you feel different. Less soldier, more executioner. I can't decide if that makes you a victim of hell or its proud representative. Which is it, Al? Chains or choice?
Chains don't lie, Clark. They rattle so everyone knows I'll never walk clean again. You soar above fields in Kansas. I claw through alleys where children go missing and no capes ever land. Victim, weapon, demon, pick your word. The truth is simpler. I didn't crawl out of the grave to wave a flag. I crawled out to make sure the things you don't touch choke on their sins.
I've stood in alleys too. Gotham's rot doesn't smell much different from the war zones you haunt. The difference is Bruce stops before he crosses a line he can't return from. You don't even see the line anymore. That's what worries me. You can kill your way through demons all night, but when morning comes, can you even recognize yourself?
Morning doesn't come where I walk. Streetlights flicker, rats run, dealers carve up lives. Recognition's a luxury. I'm not looking for a reflection, Bounds. I'm looking for results. You ask about lines, but whose line was it when Metropolis burned under Doomsday's fists while you held yourself back? My line is simple. Predators bleed. Maybe that makes me lost. But lost dogs still bite harder than gods who hesitate.
You think hesitation cost lives? Maybe. But restraint has saved more than rage ever will. Doomsday killed me and still I came back stronger because I refused to make death my language. You bleed predators, you say. What about the innocents caught in your war zones? Collateral is a polite word for bodies. You don't strike me as someone who counts them spawn.
I count every one. Names etched into nightmares I don't wake from. Don't mistake rage for blindness. I don't erase the innocent with lies about collateral damage. You call restraint strength, but it's also comfort. The luxury of a god who can hold back. I was built to kill, trained to kill, sent to hell for killings. Every innocent I fail to protect is another scar.
You're not wrong about scars. I've carried Krypton's ashes in my chest since I was a boy. But pain doesn't excuse cruelty. I've seen too many who thought they were justified end up building empires of corpses. Mongol Zod, even Luthor in his own way. You call yourself different. But I've heard Darkseid say almost the same words you just did. How long before the pit you crawl through swallows everything?
Difference is, Darkseid builds empires to rule. I tear them down so no one else bows. The pit's already swallowed me. That's why I can drag others into it without blinking. You're afraid of becoming what you fight. I envy that fear. Means you still believe you're clean. I gave that belief up the day my wife's screams buried me.
It's about perspective. Up there, I see a world worth protecting, not just punishing. Lois calls it hope. Maybe that word doesn't mean much to you anymore, but it's the only reason humanity hasn't drowned in despair. You think fear keeps predators in check. Fear fades. Hope builds. That's why they trust me, not you. How do you expect them to follow a man who looks more like hell than salvation?
Bounds. I don't need them to follow. I need them to survive one more night. Hope is a sermon. Survival is a fact. The world doesn't chant my name, and that's fine. They don't pray to shadows. They run because shadows chase the monsters first. Wanda never asked me to be salvation. She asked for protection. Maybe I failed her, but I won't fail the next one. That's not hope, Clark.
I believe in obligation too, but it doesn't have to be soaked in blood. My father taught me power means responsibility, not dominance, not punishment. Responsibility, the way you talk. It sounds like your whole mission is one long vendetta stretched across every alley in every city. What happens when the guilty are gone, Spawn?
The guilty never vanish. They wear new faces, build new systems, trade colors for contracts. That's the truth you don't want to admit. When your rogues vanish, another rises. Joker laughs again, Luthor schemes again, Darkseid marches again. Cycles. You fight them with hope, I fight them with fear. Maybe vengeance burns me hollow. Fine. But a hollow thing with chains still drags tyrants further than sermons ever will.
You're right about cycles. I've buried the same villains more than once. But breaking the cycle isn't about more chains. It's about giving people something worth choosing instead of fear. Batman frightens criminals, I inspire the innocent. If the only thing people see in you is punishment, what keeps you from being the next tyrant in their eyes? Because to the child staring at your silhouette, you don't look like salvation.
Children don't need salvation carved in red capes. They need monsters who eat other monsters. I'm not bedtime comfort. I'm the nightmare that hunts worse nightmares. To the innocent, I'm a shadow they never meet. To the guilty, I'm the last face they see. You inspire, I terrify. Both have their place. Don't confuse my absence of light for tyranny. Tyranny demands worship. I demand nothing but silence from the damned.
It's emptiness. I've walked through cities ravaged by warlords and dictators. They all enforced silence. Peace came only when hope returned. Wanda deserved more than a husband who equates justice with graves. If she could see you now, would she even recognize the man she loved? Or has the vengeance become all that's left of Al Simmons?
She wouldn't recognize me, and that's the price. Wanda's memory isn't comfort. It's fire under my skin. I know she'd hate what I've become. I know she'd grieve twice. But her killers don't walk, and others like them won't either. I can't be her husband anymore. But I can be her vengeance. That's the only way her death wasn't meaningless. Love makes you softer. It made me sharper.
You admit Wanda would hate this version of you, yet you keep walking her path. Is that vengeance for her or just for you? That's what separates us, Spawn. I live not for Krypton's ashes, but for Earth's tomorrow. You live for yesterday's screams.
Future died the night she did. I'm not trying to rebuild it. I'm making sure others don't lose theirs the same way. Yesterday's screams don't fade, but they can be answered. That's the only future I deal in. You fly above with tomorrow in your fists. I drag through the mud with yesterday in mine. Different skies, different graves, same world.
I can respect that you fight, even if I can't respect your methods. Maybe we're bound to clash not because one's wrong and one's right, but because the world needs both at different times. But answer me this, Al. When your chains finally drag you into the pit for good, will you believe it was worth it?
Hell's been using me since the day my blood hit the soil. Every strike I throw is stolen from them. If my fall comes because I gutted one more devil on the way down, then it's worth it. You fear being used, I accept it and twist the knife anyway. Chains or cape, both of us are weapons. The difference is whose hands we let grip the hilt.
Humanity. Families, friends, strangers who need someone to believe in. You chose rage. Maybe you think that makes you honest. I think it makes you trapped. And the worst part, you don't even want a way out. If I offered you peace, true lasting peace, would you even take it?
Peace sounds like a lie to men who've seen trenches. I'd take it if it meant Wanda's smile lit the world again. But that's not the bargain on the table. The world I see bleeds, and peace doesn't show up to stop the bleeding. Rage does. If peace walked into my alley tomorrow, I'd tell it to grab a chain and help. Otherwise, it's useless.
You see peace as useless unless it fights. I see peace as the point of all the fighting. Wanda's smile, Lois's laugh, a child running without fear. That's what I fight for. You call it luxury. I call it necessity. If rage is all you have, then hell's already won, no matter how many demons you chain.
Maybe hell wins either way. Maybe heaven does too. Doesn't matter. What matters is the streets breathe one more night because I dragged something darker into the gutter. You call peace the point, I call survival enough. Let your cape catch the sun, Superman. When both of us are gone, the world will decide which kept it alive longer. The man in the sky or the corpse in the alleys. Goodbye.